Good morning, traders. It is Friday, the 13th, February 2015. Happy Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. It's 7:12 a.m. Chicago time. This is a pre-recorded Trader Bite. Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. My personal opinions, market data, and recommendations subject to change without notice. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Very light news overnight. Risk appetite is back on the table. It gathers momentum after the thaw on Greece and ceasefire agreement in eastern Ukraine. Signs that a technical agreement on Greece was possible as relations between Greece and Germany seem to thaw out. European Q4 GDP paints a positive picture. Germany, Portugal, Italy, and Eurozone beat expectations. Italy Q4 GDP registers its first non-contraction in 14 quarters. The DAX hit all-time record highs above 11,000 for the first time this morning. You also may have noticed that the S&P has pushed through its 2088.75 highs, as I've been talking about for some weeks now. The DAX high was at 11,016.5. The market's holding higher prices and is staying steady up there. Let's look at what's on the calendar. Today at 9 o'clock, February preliminary University of Michigan sentiment, expecting 98.1. And at 9:50, 50, we have ECB's Prayat speaking. At noon, we have ECB's Costancio. And at 12:30, we have Fed's Fisher, and that rounds out the week. Let's take a look at the technical picture. So yesterday was a beauty. Yesterday we pushed through. We played out Hypo 1 yesterday. The only thing that did not come through very well on Hypo 1 is that it didn't quite dig deep enough to give me a lot of confidence in the rally up. What was expected of yesterday was a responsive selling. So we opened at 73.50, expected responsive selling into 68, into the 68 area to take a bite into the prior day's range, Wednesday's range, potentially to push to 66 and value high at 65. Find buyers, a good base, and then the expectation is it was likely to turn around and start pushing through the overnight high, which was a weak high. It was a double top. I believe it's 2080.75 or something like that. So let's look at that. 2077.75 right here. That was the overnight high. Yeah, the double top on the overnight, and the expectation was for us to actually push through it. I need to adjust these charts. Actually, they're not starting at the right time, but so the double top was 2077.75, and we did just that. We opened auction out of range. The auction high. Sorry, I'm at home, so these numbers are not adjusted. So there's the opening swing. It's an open auction out of range. The market did not push lower. It did take out the OS by a couple ticks before buyers stepped in. It looked like a weak failed auction there, and buyers stepped in, and from there on out, the last test was for the open, and then it ran up. The target became 2088.75, 2089. 2089 would have given us the standard or the high of the normal range for an update, which is 17 points from 71.75. So that would have given us 2088.75 on the range. We got to 2085.50. We finished the day with a weak high. I did mention in the S5 chat room that This was at 3 o'clock yesterday. I did take a poll in there as to what's to be expected today, and most of the traders in there expected higher. And my take on it was expecting it to float higher overnight to finish this job of going higher, and then likely to open lower, likely to dig lower to find buyers. What it did is it dug lower to find buyers overnight. It's trading 2087.50. The expectation is that it continues to float towards yesterday's high, but overall it has pushed higher as expected. We have new all-time highs on the overnight, which I anticipate that we'll take out today. The overnight session, here it is. It starts back here, and the market just floated down 81.50, and then overall the market has pushed to and held higher prices. The high does not look all that great just yet. Actually, the 88.75 or 89 area has a ledge in it. All of that changes if we break down below 83, this LVN here, and the market's likely to pull back and dig deeper for buyers. The point of control moved from 77.75 to 84 right on the close yesterday. So that creates an interesting environment here. We have somewhat of a double distribution, and it's and given that we're at all-time highs, the expectation is that if the market opens, it's likely to be responsive back towards 84, and then the expectation is for it to try to push higher. If it's unsuccessful pushing high early, then caution longs. And the hypothesis is that it would have printed new all-time highs on a day session above 2088.75, and then I expect it to be responsive downwards. Towards 84, 83, and once it gives up the 83 to 81.50 is likely to give, and then the next target becomes 76.50. I expect the trade to be quite muted. It is President's Day on Monday. I want to remind you that Monday is a holiday. The pit sessions are closed in the US, and the electronic is open till noon on Monday. So that's what we have ahead of us. Other than that, everything is a-okay. We've done what we're expected to do. The Euro stocks expanded their range a little bit yesterday. Didn't go very far, closed at 34.15, and we gapped up this morning, and we're breaking out. I want to remind you in the Euro stocks that you're looking at a pretty thin LVN zone, composite LVN zone, up to 35.53, so it could easily float up on any good news. The news has been governing the trade over the last couple of days, with Greece being dominant and then Ukraine. But overall, like I said, I expect us to float back into yesterday's range, but I expect to make new highs here, and then I expect us to fall back into yesterday's range and to kind of trade the range as a primary hypothesis. Anything goes up here. There are some measured move targets above in the 90s and so on. Let me pull up that chart. And so let's see. So there are measured moves at 93.25, 96, and 21.03 above. Obviously, 21.03 was out of range, but 93.25 is the next one up as a measured move target. That's all I have for you for today. I will be back on at 8:20 or so once I've dropped off the kids. I'll catch you later on. Stage 5 traders, don't forget, we have our weekly Ask a Question webinar at noon. Email will be out to you at about 10 o'clock Central. I'll catch you there. Good luck and have a great weekend.